Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein. Palisa, it's been a long-running case. Remind us once again, who is John Block and what is this case all about?
Well, this matter we know that dates back to 2016, and that was the time when John Block at the time was the ANC chairperson in the Northern Cape. And basically the sentence, the 15-year sentence that was handed out to him and his business associate Christo Scholtz was about a multi-million rand property deal that belongs to, or rather, the company that was part of this deal was the Trifecta Group, which Christo Scholtz owned at the time. And basically it involved John Block receiving kickbacks for influencing government departments to rent out office space at inflated rates from this Trifecta Group. Now, we also know that with the appeal being heard back in May, the state actually conceded that perhaps Chris Scholtz might not have been aware of these monies that were paid to John Block at the time. They were handed down 15 years imprisonment for corruption and 12 years imprisonment for money laundering. But also the state decided to abandon the arguments on money laundering, also making a decision that basically it's a duplication of charges. So what we're looking at now is this 15 years and, you know, the decision that the judge is going to be handing out today. But basically both John Block and Christo Scholtz want the 15-year conviction to be reduced to correctional supervision as well as a fine. Both of them were out on bail since they were sentenced back in 2016 of 150,000 rand. So we'll hear today what does the future hold for them.
John Block used to enjoy a lot of influence in the Northern Cape's political space. Is that still the case?
Well, we can't say that with certainty. You know, he's been embroiled in a lot of legal battles. We know that there's still another matter that's still pending in the Kimberley Magistrate Court or High Court for that matter. But at this stage, he's quite busy with legal battles that he's fighting off. It's this sentence that, you know, we're supposed to hear judgment later today at 9:45, and what's still awaiting him also in the Northern Cape. So it's at this stage, I don't think politics are his main focus. I think his legal battles are now his priority at this stage.
Palisa, is the content of this case finding expression in the national conversation of state capture? What is being said in the Northern Cape?
Well, around that particular issue at this stage we can't say, because I mean we're basically right now dealing with this matter in the Supreme Court of Appeal. So in the bigger scheme of things, you know, we know that corruption at this stage in government is a big deal. You know, there's this big drive on dealing with corruption. So, you know, in that context, in the context of government wanting to really deal with this issue of corruption, this is quite a serious matter, and you know, it's a big deal.
All right, Palisa, please just tell us what we can expect in terms of what will happen in court this morning.
Well, normally with hearings of this nature, where it's basically the judgment being read out, it shouldn't even last more than 10 minutes. 10 minutes is actually a lot of time. We'll be going inside court just after once we are done with this live crossing, but the judge will come in at exactly 9:45 and deliver judgment. He will be basically reading just the summary. So it's actually a brief appearance, or rather a brief exercise. Just to let you know, previously when this matter was heard here in the Supreme Court of Appeal, both John Block and Christo Scholtz were in court throughout the 2 days. But, you know, we don't know about today. Maybe it's just a little early right now. Maybe they will show up or not, but they don't necessarily have to be here. So, but we'll see.
Well, I suppose let's release you then to go cover the actual event, and we'll keep following that one.